Let's see, forgot to add myself in. How you doing today? Sorry for the delay. Some weird technical stuff happening with my computer. The main camera fell over and now it doesn't want to be recognized, even though everything else seems to be working kind of sort of fine. Hey, Philippa, good early morning to you. Hi, Sue. Hey, Barb. Sandy, good afternoon. Hey, Kat. Yeah, we've missed you lately. Emotionally and physically taxing. I'm so sorry. So sorry you're struggling right now. Hey, Michelle and Terry, we got the gangs all here. So there's just one camera today. My overhead camera decided to be persnickety. I cannot, oh, let's see, maybe now I can get over to Studio to, I have to change one setting to make sure it's more difficult for people that aren't subscribers to comment. So let me see if I can fix that setting right now. Talk amongst yourselves for just another few minutes and I will be there. Okay. At least I think I will. It's been a Monday on a Wednesday, and that is just not fair as far as I'm concerned. All right, let me do one thing. Forgot to change that last night. Whew, okay, it is. It's always something. And thank you. Michelle said that's okay. So I have the second one of these little things that I'm working on because honestly, this I couldn't dive into the studio to try and dig anything else out. So I'm making French knots. We're going to chat and it's all going to be fine. Hubby is under the house trying to isolate where we have a weird water thing happening. He monitors the, we've got like one of those smart meters that tells us what's happening with the water, and we're using water in the middle of the night when we're sleeping and we're not quite sure where or what's going on. So hopefully he can figure some things out so that we can get a plumber out here to work on stuff, because that's just not, we don't need it. We don't need it. So everybody, let me know what's going on in your corner of the world. I'm going to say, talk amongst yourself again for a minute while I grab the phone. Oh my goodness, people, is it Friday yet? That's what I want. I'm back and I'm making French knots. So let me know what you guys are working on. And I will tell you, let's see, what's going on here besides the water leak. I did get, oh my gosh, Joanne's not here yet, is she? I got so many, oh gosh, I can't show you, but these are all crystals, okay? And I splurged and I got some chandelier ones. Oh yeah, I keep wanting to do it to the overhead camera. Let's see if I can balance. So these are big. These are like, let's see, they're as big as my thumb and they're just gorgeous. They're going to shimmer so much on the big white piece, which finally has a name, which is good. I am ready to dive into the commission, but I have to wait until everything gets done in the studio. The painters are scheduled to come on Monday. And once they get done with that stuff, then we can take all the plastic down and I can get my yarns sorted out and figure out where I'm going to start on the place. I think I'm going to make a small sample piece first. Maybe, you know, I'd like to say I could do a 5x7, but I don't know. You know, Kat could do a 5x7. Working small seems to be hard for me, but that's what I have to do. And I've been thinking in terms of the colors and the yarns that she sent me, how I want to use that mohair, because it's not going to be the best thing to do French knots with, but it will be wonderful to wrap around stuff after I've made them. So I think I'm going to make some components in the colors and just kind of play around. I want to do a lot of knots in the blues. Now that she's told me really how she wants it to feel, it helps. I have an idea about where I'm going. Hey, Joanne, oh, you missed these. I have to show you these. I bought, okay, just a few crystals for the big white piece. And I bought some huge ones. My overhead camera is not working. So some huge ones that are actually chandelier dangles. So it's just going to be a beautiful sparkly piece. Yeah, just a few, I know. I had bought some in the past and they turned out to be more plasticky. They said they were glass, but they were not. So yeah. And I've been working in the yard a lot the last few days since, you know, I really couldn't spread things out in the studio. And I thought I'm just going to take advantage of the nice weather. And so I've been working on my pots and getting things ready to plant. And today I'm going to go, after this and after training, I'm going to go to the hardware store and get a couple more things so I can work on my water feature that I'm building. So at our old house, we had 3 bubbling rocks and I miss having the moving water to call the critters in. So I did realize that I wished I had put a little bit more electricity out in the back so that I could do one out there. So we might have to have the electrician run a little bit more conduit. Sue said, I hope the indoor painting goes smoothly and quickly. Yes, me too. This is not the same painter that's painted the rest of the house. He retired, but I've met the guy a couple times and I like him. And he seemed to understand my aesthetics, which is really important to me because, you know, my husband just kind of indulges me and lets me do the kind of stuff that I want. So I need to make sure I've got somebody that I'm working with that understands, you know, that about the projects. Barb says, I love moving water in the garden. I do too, you know, and it's just this morning, well, the last few mornings, I've been having my morning coffee out on the deck so Tally could get some outside time. And it's just been wonderful. So much bird activity. And, you know, I know there'll be even more when we get the whole water thing set up. My husband's got something going on Saturday, so I think I'll put the water feature thing together on Saturday. It'll keep me busy. Thanks, Michelle. Those are pretty. They are. They shimmer. And I'm trying to just keep my focus on finishing the white one and thinking about how I'm going to attack the commission, because of course that has to be my focus for the next, 9 months. Speaking of 9 months, we are now officially in the 9th month of this construction project. I can't believe it. Making you jealous because of the water or being able to work outside? It feels so good to finally be healthy enough to be able to do the sorts of things I'm doing outside now, strong enough to be able to move things and not have to ask for help all the time. Sandy says, just lurking and putzing. Arthritis in my right hand is preventing me from stitching at this time. Oh, I'm so sorry. Have you ever done the wax, the hot wax on the hands? That really helps mine when they're acting up. Both, yeah. I know when you can't go outside and do the things that you want to do, it's frustrating. I mean, when I could hardly walk, I didn't even want to go outside because it was depressing because I couldn't even wander around the property.
That's good there.
Barbara said we had our garden tended yesterday. 3 strapping young fellows with their clippers. The shoots on the apple and pear tree and other plants had to be tamed. Yeah. And I've got to unpot a lot of stuff and put them into their new pots. And that part I'm not looking forward to because it's always a pain when stuff has been, in pots for so long. It's always a pain to get it out. And I don't want to break the pots. I've got a beautiful set of ferns that have been in a pot that's way too small for them for 15 years. And I really want to get it out without breaking the pot because it's a beautiful cobalt blue ceramic pot, and pots are so expensive now. Sandy said, beautiful crystals. Thank you. Hey, Hexie, we have not seen you for a while. I hope you're doing well. We've missed seeing you in the chat.
Oh, all right. When you finish it, we're going to the bathroom.
Terry said, I love fountains, but we have so much cold weather. I'm happy to have an automatic watering system for the chickens. Yeah. Yeah, if we had to worry a lot about freezing and things, that would be difficult. And we do pondless ones. So the small one that I'm going to put in next to the bird bath is just a huge bowl with a drain pipe grill on top of it, and then rocks on top of that. So there will be no standing water. There'll be just enough water going over the rocks, and then a bubbling, rock on top for the birds to get up to, because then they have the bird bath. It's just still water that they can bathe in. Sandy said, yes, the wax feels great. It's starting to warm up here, so hoping for improvement. Oh, I hope so. Michelle said, maple trees are completely bare in my front yard. My redbud is just starting to leaf out, and it was so exciting to see that yesterday. And little bits of pink starting to, a few things are starting to flower. More mystery bulbs are coming out. I have never planted a bulb in my life, but somebody once upon a time planted bulbs here and there, and they keep popping up every year in new places. Hexie said, I'm fine, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Well, we are glad to have you. Yeah, Barb, I agree. Terry, the sound of chickens in a yard is as wonderful as a bubbling creek or fountain. Yeah, our neighbors that used to be across the road from us had chickens, and we used to love to hear them. Now we only hear them on our walks in certain areas, the chickens and the turkeys. Happy squirrels with the water. Yeah. I'm really anxious to get the one in the front yard because it will be a larger pondless feature, and it'll be easier for the fox and the possums and the raccoons. I would do a pot pond, but the raccoons will just tear it up. So Terry said, watching chickens is so relaxing. Yeah. Zoe, our last dog, she used to love to watch the chickens on TV. And so did our previous one. Tally kind of likes the birds, but she would rather just be outside waiting for the cars and people to go by. Kat said, I recently saw a hand specialist. He said, I have a significant amount of hypermobility in my hands and wrists. I will be fitted for custom thumb and wrist braces, as well as finger splints. This should drastically reduce my hand pain levels. I'm encouraged to hear I may be able to craft more soon. Oh, I hope so. Keep us posted and let us know how that goes. I do hope that will give you some relief. My hands actually hurt mostly first thing in the morning. Laying down, everything runs to the fingers. So before I even get out of bed, I do a lot of this. And that seems to get bloods going. I can always tell when my ring will slide on and off easily that I've got everything flowing right. Squirrels are good at re-landscaping. Yeah, they do that. Everybody's planting something one way or another around our place. Never know what's going to come up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hopeful for you, Kat, because it's so frustrating. You know, I need to take a lot of breaks, and I know that. With me, it's not my hands as much as my shoulder. And I wish I was ambidextrous so that I could do the same thing with left. I've tried doing it left-handed. I can't make a French knot left-handed. I have to. Maybe I shouldn't say I can't. Maybe no. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying left-handed. Let's see. It feels very strange, but maybe I could get used to it. But there's some things, if I'm just working on the needle, that I can do left-handed, and that seems to work. But for the most part, it's just a matter for me taking breaks because my shoulder gets really, really sore. And when I work past the pain and continue to work, I'm laid up for like 3 or 4 days before my shoulder is recovered enough. So luckily, working with my trainer, she's got me, you know, certain things that I can do after stitching to kind of keep things mobilized. She said, I just realized I haven't heard the neighbors' turkeys in a while. Maybe they have a shelter during our colder weather. Maybe so. Feels like spring today. Yeah. Oh, you've got overcast on your side of the mountain, Michelle? Over here, we've got blue skies, sun. It's beautiful. I didn't want to have to come in and do anything. I was just enjoying sitting out on the deck. Isn't it funny? Just, you know, we can be so close. I mean, it's only like probably 20 minutes from where I live over to where Michelle lives, but it's a completely different climate zone. Same thing will happen with my in-laws.
No.
Sue said it's overcast here too, but not as gray as when it threatens rain. Yeah, even though we need the rain, I'd be fine if it wants to hold off for another month, because what I'm afraid is going to happen is the painters will get ready to go outside and then the rain's going to come. And if I didn't have this commission hanging over my head, I would let them start outside first. But, you know, I don't know how long it's going to take them to paint the house. There's so much patchwork to do on the stucco that's cracking. Terry said, when I was in my 20s, I broke both bones in my right hand. You learn to do a lot. I guess so. Yeah. She said, brushing my teeth was the hardest. Oh, I bet. Or even just like combing your hair. It's weird. The things that you wouldn't think would be hard to do with your non-dominant hand. But it would probably be good for all of us to learn to do a lot of these things with both hands, just to give, especially as we age, you know, to give ourselves a break. You know, in the same way that I stopped stitching after about half an hour in order to rest my shoulders, it would probably be good to do some things with my other hand so that I could keep stitching. I think that's the thing that scares me the most about this commission. You know, I have a deadline. It has to be ready to go to be shipped by November 1st. So if something happens to me, you know, health-wise, it's going to throw things off. Hold on a sec, folks.
What it looks like. That's good. Yeah. So now I guess this.
Too many moving parts. Kat said, I'm fairly ambidextrous, but I haven't stitched with my left. Well, you'll have to practice, huh? And I can feel a headache coming on, which is not good. That must mean that I haven't done heavy yard work today. I slept fine, so I must have zigged when I should have zagged. So when I go to work out today, Terry said, hair wasn't really bad. Shifting the car was a breeze. Pouring coffee made my customers nervous. Ooh, yeah, things like that. Or cutting your food. Yeah, pouring hot stuff. Yeah, that would be hard. Or dangerous, or both. So what I'm working on here is just another small piece of felt like this with the French knots, because I only have this much of this yarn left. And my thought is I will look for a companion color, and then I will bridge the edges with something else, and this will be a small size wildscape. I have a show in June, so making some more small pieces to have available for that show. Actually, one in June and one in August, so would be good to have some extra pieces. And when the painting is done in the studio, I get to decide what art I'm going to hang in there, because I will finally have wall space where I can hang things. Hey, Julie, how are you doing today? What's going on in your neck of the woods? It's funny, I got so spoiled being able to have the two cameras going. And I remember way back when a lot of the live stream stuff started, we were lucky just to be able to chat with somebody face to face like this. We didn't have the, very often did we have the dual cameras. So I'm spoiled. And I know my techie husband will mess with everything and figure it out later. But we ran out of time today. And I know I've got an understanding crowd here. You guys all roll with it. The important thing is that we get a chance to gather and chat for a while, right? Julie's still working on Hexie, stitching up a Hexie box, watching my husband clean up ice and snow. Brr. How much snow do you have there, Julie? Some of you guys. And Joanne, do you still have freezing cold temps there? I didn't even work on one French knot since last week on this one, but the small ones, see if I could figure out how to work smaller, I would finish sooner. I think the thing is, once I've done a big one, I just want to keep doing big ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, hold on for a second, folks. I'm going to mute you. Talk amongst yourselves again.
It's getting right. Yeah.
Ooh, Julie's got 10 to 12 inches in deeper drifts, warming up and melting. Wow. Joanne still got snow and cold. So Barb, did you get all your unraveled stuff straightened out so you don't have the kinky yarn anymore?
Tomorrow will I sit down?
These are, we'll got to Sunday, right?
No, just
the edges?
yeah, with sponge.
Barbara, I know we had this conversation before, and I'm sorry, I can't remember. Barb or Barbara, which is your preferred use of name? She said, it's like spring here, the crocuses are blooming. I've got paper whites coming up. And again, I never planted paper whites, but they're beautiful coming up in the one of the creek beds. Terry said, wow, Julie, I forget where you are. Barbara said, yes, I figured it out. It's acrylic, and acrylic wants steam, and that works. Nice. That's right. I do remember we discussed that. So you'll be ready to start knitting soon. Barbara, okay. Michelle said, I'm going to start stitching another trees soon. You are so prolific. I admire that about you, Michelle. But I'm not going to make myself feel bad about being slower. My brain now, especially now that they've got the deck done and I can go out there and I'm working on the plants and I've been adding stuff to my pots outside the studio, my brain is going into landscape design mode. And so it's hard, you know, I've got, okay, the art stuff to finish, but then I want to work on the plants. And really, I mean, unless we get some more rain soon, I'm getting past the time to do much native planting. So then it'll be back into maintenance mode or work on the water features. And there's so much to clean up. Sue said, and I what? Terry said, I've had several days recently that have been too cold to let the chickens out. That's pretty cold. Pretty cold. Are you still working on your beautiful cards, Terry? Or are you making kits? Sue said, I checked the thread I was planning to use on this new textile book. I don't like the color. Might have to go shopping. Oh dear. The other night I was like so tired because I'd worked in the yard in the morning and then trained and then worked in the yard in the afternoon. And I thought, I'll just do some shopping. And I realized I don't need anything. I mean, all this beautiful yarn that my client sent me from France and then the yarn that I bought to go with it. It's like, no, I want to go shopping for plants, but there's nothing else that I want to go shopping for art-wise right now, which is good. I actually need to start working on the income taxes. Oh, Terry said it's below 10 degrees. Below 10 degrees Fahrenheit is too cold for the chickens. Michelle said, I've slowed down the past few weeks. I've been on YouTube way too much. I've been going through my supplies. I've been on YouTube watching garden makeovers and that, even though they're happening in different states and different climates, I'm just getting really inspired. And I'm sure it's because for let's see, I don't know, like 3-4 years, I couldn't walk well enough to really do much out in the yard. So now that I'm physically fit, able to do that, I just kind of want to go full steam ahead. I get so much inspiration from being out there. But I also need to work on my website. In my art group yesterday, we had a speaker come in to talk about our artist statements, and I realized how much mine needs attention. Michelle's doing taxes next Tuesday. I have to do bookkeeping before I can do taxes, and I just hate it. And we're going to have to pay a lot of money this year, which I'm not looking forward to, because who likes to pay money to the government for stuff they probably shouldn't be taxing? Like, don't tax my Social Security. I did not have any needles pre-threaded. Big surprise. It's been a day. All right. Terry said, I've made a few dog cards yesterday. I've been working on taxes. I'm waiting for a form from one of my consignments. I think most of my other stuff is done. Oh, good for you. I'm jealous. I got to mess it. And, every year I think I'm going to do better at keeping track of things. And I last until about March or April. And then, but I met somebody else recently that said, yeah, in February, I end up remaking my entire year. And I'm thinking, yeah, sometimes that's what it feels like. YouTube is great for motivation, for art, not for doing taxes. Sue said, I'm so grateful my hubby is willing and tends to be able to take care of our taxes for us. That's nice. Ours is a team effort. There's my husband's great at gathering all the forms and stuff. And then I put together the final spreadsheet for the tax gal. And hold on a second here. And I was a little worried because last year was our first year with the new tax person. I wasn't sure since our guy sold his business, but she was marvelous. I maybe even like her better than our original. So that's saying something because we've been with him for like 25 years. So I like it when that kind of stuff comes together. Yeah, it feels good. Well, it feels good when it's done. It's not going to feel good when they tell me. I think she estimated for us we're probably going to owe about 10 grand this year, maybe a little more, and that's not feeling good. But to have it done, over and done with, will feel good.
I'm gonna take the crops.
Yeah, that's what I said, Terry. Yikes, it's going to be ridiculous. And next year is going to be worse. It's just because all the construction, we had to take money out of my retirement, but at least we had the money in my retirement. Julie said, Terry, I am in Northeast Montana. Definitely got the cold weather there. But also have the beautiful scenery.
So Eric. We're gonna do that for the rest of the day. It's gotta dry before we. Then we'll try.
So has anybody discovered anybody new on YouTube lately that they're getting a lot of inspiration from, or an old favorite that you keep going back to because after you watch, you feel so inspired? Terry said, Julie, I believe you had a business identity previously. Joanne said, some of your home improvements are not tax deductible. No, only if we were going to sell the house, which we are not going to do. But the loan that we had to get out, some of the interest rates from that and the points from that are deductible. Sue said, I've been watching Karen at Railway Cottage Studio and Kate in the Nest a lot lately. I don't know, Karen. What kind of stuff does she do? Is she like all kinds of crafts, a stitcher? That sounds like my kind of thing. Railway, anything that says cottage, like I'm forever looking at cottage gardens. Must be a different Julie you're thinking of, Terry. Julie says no. Lots of fabric collage. Ooh, that sounds good. So do you have a theme for your textile book that you're going to be starting, Sue? I know you're doing Roxy's challenge, the Roxy and Rachel challenge. Sue said, okay, I really need to buy more than one spool of thread to justify this. Well, of course you do. Of course you do. Some bright oranges, some yellows, some pinks, all your favorite colors. Terry said, I'm still watching The Unexpected Gypsy. She is the first person I ever followed. Still love her. She's fun. She pops up on mine every so often. Are you still buying? You had a type of thread you fell in love with recently, didn't you, Sue? The brand? Michelle said, I've been watching a gal doing camp outs at different locations. She has a Volkswagen with flower stickers on it. I'm forgetting her name. Virtual travel, huh? I can't even remember the name of any of the gardening ones I've been watching lately. Not a lot on California native plants. So I've just been watching different garden designers. And sometimes I'm just taking, just a tiny bit that I watch and works for me. And then I carry it into my own ideas. Sulky, that's it. Yeah, Sulky's beautiful thread. Sulky Petites. They are cotton equivalent to 2 strands of floss without the issues that I have with floss. Yeah, I can't believe I have so much floss. One of these days I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with a lot of, probably I'll punch needle with it because that's one way to use up a lot of the different things. Make some really nice turkey work. Sue says I already own quite a bit of a lot of the colors available. Well, but you know which ones you go to all the time. So you need to make sure you have, some backfill, right? Always happy to enable somebody to go shopping for art supplies. I'm starting to wonder what else I still have out in the garage. I've got a lot of fabric in the garage, and when the nice weather hits and all the construction stuff is done, I'm anxious to go through it. Michelle, I know I still have denim in there somewhere that I'm going to find for you. I mean, nothing's worse than being in the middle of a project and running out of your favorite color, right? That's why there's like 5 independent dyers on Etsy. And whenever I get down to 2 skeins of their yarn, I order 3 more because I know I use their stuff all the time. Julie agrees with you, Sue. Sulky Petites are wonderful. Sue said, Big Mama sent me some wonderful old fabrics. Might have to play with them while I wait for a new thread to arrive. Yes. Barbara said, talking about YouTube inspiration, you may remember that I'm in a community singing circle, and I discovered on YouTube the Daily Antidote of Song. They've been going for some 2,100 days straight. Wow. That's something. Michelle said, I'm waiting patiently for the denim. Take your time. Okay, thank you. That sounds very cool. Sandy said, I do lots of slow stitching. My favorite channels are Annie Clayton, K3N, and Marion's World. Oh, I like Marion's World's really nice too. I don't know Annie Clayton either. Somebody else I should check out. Michelle said, Terry said, Michelle, I haven't finished the new one yet. I haven't been able to pay attention long enough. Barbara said, songs and artists from all over the world. So there's lots of variety. Also lots of just plain hope. Hope is very much needed right now. She said, I don't listen to music much these days, but I was offered up a video of Lizzie and the Triggerman singing When That Man Is Dead and Gone. And I've listened to it every day since. Oh, wow. I love it. Barbara said, you should all check out Jerry Bellini. She's doing a lot of stitching inspiration. Yeah, I was thinking last night how, I feel bad. I'm not doing inspirational stitching stuff at all. I'm not teaching. I was kind of down on just kind of down on myself about the YouTube stuff. Julie said, Clayton or Claxton? But I just can't do all the things. And I think if I'm going in the direction I am to do more art for shows and exhibitions and commissions, Claxton, Sue said, then I don't have as much I just don't have as many hours in the day. Wild Bliss Bunny is the gal's name who camps out on YouTube. Not this year for you, Susan. You have a big project, yes. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. But people pleaser, you want to be all things to all people. And that doesn't work. You can't be all things to all people, and you shouldn't want to, because you should want to be the best version of yourself, which is rarely trying to be all things to all people. Few people commented that they were surprised that I even took on the commission because I've been so adamant about not doing any. But I know that she's going to make me grow so much as an artist. Well, working on her project is going to make me grow. And that's what I really want to do. Julie said she is hilarious and very talented. Oh, one of our admins wants to grab the link for some of these people. That would be great. Julie Claxton, and there was somebody else that I didn't recognize, a Karen somebody. Yeah, Barbara, you're right. Don't be all things to all people, not this year. Well, and even any year, because I don't think trying to be all things to all people is not being the best version of yourself. And I think being the best version of yourself is what the world needs. We get into trouble when we're trying to be something we're not. At least I do. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. We have to be true to ourselves. And the times that I've been the most miserable in my life has been when I have been trying to be something to somebody else that somebody else wants. Oh, yes. Artie Farty Annie. She's hysterical. I recommend your channel. Oh, on one of her lives. Thank you, Sandy. That's really sweet.
Oh, you need what subject?
And, you can have all the big plans in the world, but you have to, it's sort of like, okay, the thing when you're flying with a baby, and they say you have to put your own oxygen mask on first, save yourself first. You have to do the same thing just with living your life. You have to live the best you that you can. That's the only way you can be of service to anybody else. If you are going around being in service to everybody else and you are not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be in service very long. You're not. Terry said, I need you to authorize my phone link. Oh, yeah, I can't do it right now. I'm going to have to be signing off here in just a little bit. Joanne said, finding and being yourself is a full-time job. Yep. Terry, we'll get together on that elsewise and make sure that we have you as an ad. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I can do it from here. Can I do that? No. Oh, maybe if I go over here. I'm going to see, Terry, if I can do it. I might be able to here. Here. And let's see. Okay, Terry, I think I did it. I forgot I had to go over to YouTube. And it's a full-time job we should all be doing no matter what our age, Joanne. At least that's my opinion. Doesn't even recognize you. Well, I just made you a moderator now on this account, so you should be good to go. Some of these channels that we were talking about, Barbara, Claxton, I don't remember what the first name was. Any other ones you want to, let's do that. Any links that people want posted, mention them now just before I finish up here. Yeah, I didn't think about that before, Terry. I know you've been signing on with your phone, and I just sometimes you just got to speak up and say, hey, how about doing this thing? Ooh, I just noticed a new button here. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. All right. We've got this much yarn left. I will use that up. And then it's going to be time.
Yeah, take your time, man. Right.
Joanne said, yes, I'm old as dirt and I'm still trying to be my best. Well, and that's it. It's not the act of reaching that, I'm my best. It's the act of trying to be your best. And that's what I recognize, that hindsight we get now as we're getting older. as a young person, I wasn't trying to be my best. I was trying to be the best at whatever it was I was doing. If I was in school, I had to be the best student. If I was skating or riding horses, I had to be the best at those things. And I wasn't the best, so I wasn't happy. Oh yeah, I love Christine. Craft and create with Christine is good. You know, so trying to be the best at a particular something isn't being the best version of yourself. But I think when we're young, we don't realize that. At least that's my thought about it. Let me know what you guys think. And if any of you guys have channels of your own, make sure you mention them so we can go support one another. I know Barbara's got a channel. Thank you, Barbara. There's Christine's channel. Well, maybe what I will do next week, I might, if I can get into the studio, I might find one more yarn and join these up on the next size hoop, because I think leaving some little spots like this gives me a chance to blend in another color. Although I don't have to, I could just make it all one color, but I think blending in another color, or even bringing in, this isn't the right one, but I was going to show you on the overhead, but bringing in, you know, an eyelash yarn to fill in between there. So this is a great olivey green, but it doesn't work with this one. Barbara said, haven't posted anything new lately. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Annie Claxton is Arty Farty Annie. Thank you. I didn't know her full name. I have not been watching other people's videos for a long time, unfortunately, because when I'm planning a project like this commission, thank you, Barbara. There's the link. It's okay. Barbara's on it. I need to not be looking at other people's work unless I'm going to figure out how to, you know, somebody's doing a stitch that I don't feel familiar with, and I might go watch a video on that. But for the most part, I'm not watching videos while I'm working. I'm listening to music. Terry, Barbara wants to know, who is the person you'd like to link? Oh, put up the Unexpected Gypsy for people, because she's a lovely one to have in the background if you want. I guess when I'm working visually, having other visual stuff going on, even though I know I could look away, it just doesn't seem to, I don't know, motivate me. Whereas putting on, usually if I'm deep into stuff, I'm putting on some jazz, instrumental only, no words. If I want words, I have to have a conversation with somebody. Wow, I don't know where that headache came from. Although I have been outside a lot, so it could be allergy stuff. Terry said, I'll endure the cold if we get my old desktop link working again. What do you mean by, is that something you need from me, or you need your computer to realize? You might need to unsubscribe and subscribe again, maybe. I don't know. We can talk about it offline. Wild Bliss Bunny. Ah, yes. I didn't even remember that one. Is it, Michelle, is it Wild Bliss Bunny, or is it just Bliss Bunny? All right, folks, I am going to have to sign off now. I need to go take some migraine medicine before I have to take off. Ah, thank you. Just in time. Barbara got that link for us. Wild Bliss Bunny. Thank you for that, Barbara. thanks for hanging with me today. Let me show you where I'm at. So I've got one little one and another little one, and maybe next week we'll start to join them together. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Go off and be creative. Have a great weekend, and I will see you same time next week. Bye-bye for now. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, I hope so too.